on Wedding Chicks or over on Facebook, thank you so much for stopping by. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm actually here with Brie Leach of the Good Brows Club, and we are going to be microblading my eyebrows. The things that I do for you guys. Well, I guess it's kind of for myself too. So.
I can't wait.
I'm so excited too. I'm a little nervous, but I have a feeling you're going to talk me through that whole process.
Yes, no worry.
Okay, so talk to me about why you suggest brides getting microblading done for their wedding day.
Well, I like to reduce risks for brides on their wedding day. I mean, anything that can take makeup faux pas out of the equation, I think is, a must. And it just saves time too, you know?
Especially because there are so many instances throughout the wedding planning process that people are taking pictures of you.
Right.
All the time. I mean, you have bridal showers, you have your bachelorette party, the rehearsal dinner, you have the actual event, engagement photos. So sometimes it's just nice to have one less thing to worry about.
It looks so natural and it's consistent. It's never gonna change, it's never gonna rub off, and people are gonna be kissing you, hugging you, and touching you. And you don't want, you don't want to take any risks.
Hopefully they won't be like kissing your eyebrows.
Right.
Or like nuzzling your face intensely.
Or grabbing your
Because that's
face.
not the kind of guest that you want.
No. Hey, but people are drinking. You never know.
You never know what's gonna happen. Watch them brows, girl. What do you suggest that brides look for in an artist?
I like to say to look at their background. If they haven't been looking at brows and thinking about brows and living brows for years and years before they got into microblading, they're gonna need some serious practicing before actually being able to give clients the best possible results.
And it's one of those things like, is that something that you want to gamble on? Do you really want to go with a beginner? Do you really want to go with someone who has limited experience when it comes to a semi-permanent, basically, tattoo on your face? That's where, I mean, it's worth the investment, it's worth doing your research, and it's worth making sure that you are selecting someone who does an excellent job because it's your face. How much does it cost, and how much should it cost?
My first appointment is $325, and that does not include a touch-up. And everything from there on, it's $195, or if you want to get on the 6-month touch-up program that I have, it's $145 per.
You got a program?
Yep.
Are there cards? Can I get one? Are there club cards?
I will make one for you.
I need to keep that down so people think that I know all the questions off the top of my head. I've heard that it takes a while for the color to set in. Let's talk about time frame for brides who are considering getting this done. Right. How close in advance can they do it?
It takes a month to heal, so that's a good rule of thumb. If you want to schedule your photos around that, I would say just remember that month rule is that's how long it takes to heal from each appointment. So let's say 3 months out, you want to get your initial out of the way. Okay. And then a month later, you do your touch-up, and then after 2 months, you'll be fully good to go.
Then you can be basically guaranteed to have perfect brows.
Right.
Or get it done earlier if you want to, so then you can have them throughout the entirety of your engagement.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? What are the risks that, and they could be minimal, but what are the risks that are involved with doing something like this? And how much is it gonna hurt?
You definitely want to find out what kind of anesthetics your artist is using.
I like that word. Yeah, I like that word.
So I use microneedling, which I penetrate the anesthetic deeper than if you were to just rub a topical on your skin. I can honestly say I've brought the pain level down to anywhere from a 0 to like a 3 maximum.
What?
I know,
This excites me very much because I'm sweating.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll be completely fine, and you'll wish you didn't wait so long. The risks are fairly minimal. As long as you're following your aftercare instructions, you bring the risk down to nil.
Because the risk would be of infection? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. So the aftercare is preventative.
Yes. It's a barrier. So it just creates a layer between the outside world and your freshly microbladed brows.
So you touched on this a little bit, but what does the healing process look like?
It's minimal. Maybe you'll accidentally touch it and be like, oh, that's a little tender. Apart from that, there's no scabbing.
Really?
Yeah, you don't really have to change your lifestyle either.
Oh, I thought it was just going to be scabby central and I was going to have to avoid being in public for a month.
It's like a little paper cut, so it doesn't like bleed and create one of those black scabs.
Clearly, I have no idea what any of this is about, so I'm so grateful that we sat down to do this beforehand because now I'm feeling a lot more reassured.
No excuses, ladies. There's no excuses now.
No excuses. She's taking them all out. I can't leave. What is the aftercare procedure?
You go home and you change your pillowcase so that you have a clean pillowcase.
Okay.
Clean your brows with a gentle cleanser, once in the morning, once at night. And then you put your aftercare on after that, once it's completely dry.
That makes me feel a lot better. I don't know why this whole process makes me so nervous. I guess it's because it's the permanency of it that is the most concerning part for me. So you said that you do a lot of drawing on beforehand, so you
Yes.
make sure, so talk to me about that.
So the way I do things is I try to reduce that as much as possible. So I create a very, very open communication between my clients and I, so that we can figure out exactly what they want, and we draw them on with the color that they want and before I even start. So we already have an understanding of the shape and, you know, everything before we even get started. We will do with you today.
Oh, just like I go between being like, oh, I'm so excited, this is gonna be so good, and then just insta sweat.
Trust me, afterwards, you're gonna be wishing that you're gonna be like, why was I so afraid, and what? This is so not a big deal.
That's so comforting to hear because, yeah, I'm anxious to have that feeling.
Good, well, let's get started.
Yeah, without further ado, let's draw some brows on. What is this doing?
This is a microneedling roller that takes tiny little needles and pierces them into your skin so that when I apply the numbing, it'll just penetrate it down way deeper than normal.
So weird, it doesn't even feel like little needles.
No.
It's surprising how nice this feels.
Yeah, I like it.
I do too.
You're gonna be able to tell that your brows are numb to visually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See how your skin's glamping?
Oh, wow. Holy smokes. That is bizarre how visible that is. Like, I know you said it would be visible, but I did not think it would be. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Holy smokes, I don't feel anything.
Yay!
What?
We're gonna look at them together with you
Okay.
sitting up so that we can decide if we want to put any strokes here or there.
Cool. Oh, I am recording. Whoa, how did I just zoom in? What is happening? Too much. It's too close. Nope, that's even closer. It's not good.
Like that little spot right there. See that?
Yeah, I do see what you're talking about. I'm totally gonna defer to you on this one because I probably wouldn't see that. Yeah.
Okay. I don't really see anything else.
I don't think I.
They're looking good.
Oh my gosh. This is so not real. I have a
looks
top to
like
this
hair.
eyebrow. I've never had a top to that eyebrow. It's always been topless. I'll cut that part out.
It doesn't look like makeup either. That's
No.
the best part. It just looks like you have more hairs.
I cannot believe how freaking natural these look. Like, this doesn't seem real to me. I could have sworn when I was coming in here, I was like, I'm gonna be leaving with really dark brows. It's gonna be a lot more intense. Just prepare yourself for that and it'll calm down over time. But these are my brows, but better. Okay, so it has been not exactly, it's been about a month since I have had my eyebrows done. So what I wanted to do was just jump back on and kind of talk through what my experience was like, because there's only so much that you can see in kind of that initial footage. There were a couple concerns that I had going into it, and I'll be totally frank, I was freaked out. Like, I was so concerned about it hurting a lot. I was so concerned about it being wicked dark. I was overall just kind of nervous. I'd never done anything like that in my life, basically, to my face. I am not the sort of person who does my brows on a daily basis. I just don't. While I do understand that they frame your face really nicely, I've just never paid too much attention to them. Have I lined them in? Absolutely. Have I put a gel in them so they stay in place and don't look wonky? All the time. But it's not something that I consider to be a main part of my makeup routine. I've never understood the importance of what it does for my face. This appointment changed my life. I never understood the importance of having good brows until I left this appointment. Even walking into the appointment, I thought, well, I mean, here goes nothing, I guess. Leaving, oh my goodness, I was so thrilled with the results. I was so thrilled with how my face looked, and it honestly made me feel like I could go out with less makeup on. Now let's talk about how much it hurt, because that freaked me out. I have gone through childbirth, but for some reason the idea of a bunch of little needles poking me in the eyebrows did not sound like a good time. And Brie was magnificent. Whatever she did with that little... Guys, I barely felt a single thing. I only heard a little bit of scraping, but it reminded me a lot of getting my eyebrows threaded, which I've done before, and that sound was louder and a little bit more weird even than getting my brows microbladed. My second concern was obviously leaving with brows that were too dark. Brie was super quick to jump in and say, don't worry, that's not gonna happen. I'm actually gonna match your existing brow color, and then it will fade over time to actually be a little bit lighter than your existing color, which to me, that was the most important part. When it comes to beauty, I prefer for things to look as natural as possible. I always want it to look like I'm enhancing my natural beauty instead of going above and beyond and being dramatic about it. I'm gonna go ahead and insert some before and after pictures right here. Don't judge, I don't have makeup on, but you can really see what an insane difference it made in my face. I didn't realize how much I would really like having it done and how much it would change my face, change my makeup routine, and basically change the littlest parts of my everyday life. If you are considering doing something like this for your wedding day, I highly recommend it. And if you're in the Southern California area, honestly, shout out to my girl, Brie Leach over at Good Brows Club. She made it painless, she made it fast, she made it entertaining. I loved every minute of it, and you can bet your bottom dollar I will be doing it again. Much like getting your hair colored for your wedding day, this is like that, but for your eyebrows. It's one less thing to worry about. You have so many activities that you're going to. Bridal showers, engagement photo shoot, your actual event, your rehearsal, all of those things where you're probably gonna be putting a lot of makeup on your face or some makeup on your face, and to have one less thing to worry about and one thing that's guaranteed to look perfect on your wedding day, I mean, that was worth it. I see that being worth it. And if I was to do it all over again and know about microblading before my wedding day, I would probably do it as well. The healing process was relatively quick, and the most difficult part about it was remembering not to touch my eyebrows. They didn't hurt, they itched just a little bit, but it didn't feel like my brows were swollen or irritated or anything like that. I just had to remember to not touch them, which had to be the most difficult part because I'm definitely like a face toucher. When it came to wearing makeup afterwards, Brie explained it really well. She's like, look, they're tiny open cuts. Don't do anything to them that could get them infected. So if you want to put makeup on, great, just avoid your eyebrows. If you go outside, make sure you put on the topical treatment so it provides a protective barrier between your eyebrows and the outside elements. So basically, moral of the story is if you're entertaining the idea of getting your brows done for your wedding day, do it. Do it. This is absolutely 100% Jamie Wolfer approved. I don't know what that means. That's all we have for today, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are watching this on Wedding Chicks or over on Facebook, jump on over to YouTube, search my name, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button for more tips and tricks for the modern day bride. Until next week, bye guys.